This is OpenNMS 102, Maps. OpenNMS can display nodes on a world map. The display includes dynamic alarm status. There are two reference points in the OpenNMS documentation. The first is at Horizon Operation Deep Dive under Geographical Maps, and the second is at Horizon Operation Deep Dive under Horizon Administration, Horizon Configuration, Geocoder Services. Geocoder services and geographical maps will be covered in this module. There are a couple of prerequisites for this module. The first is that there are a number of nodes in OpenNMS which can be graphed. Working through provisioning in Module 13 produced 4 nodes in the tutorial requisition, or the viewer might have live nodes to which the techniques in this module can be applied. Additionally, provision.pl has to be configured to run. Recall from the provisioning module that a few Perl modules had to be installed. Additionally, authentication is being handled within the home/.openNMS/provision.plrc file. All of this is covered in Module 13, Provisioning. The process is straightforward. The geocoder service is first configured. This tutorial will use Nominatum. From the Nominatum documentation, Nominatum is a tool to search OpenStreetMap (OSM) data by name and address and to generate synthetic addresses of OSM points. Nominatum requires an email to function. The other geocoder services OpenNMS uses, Google and MapQuest, both require an API key. Once the geocoder service is configured, the address asset information of each node in the tutorial requisition will be populated. The addresses used are those of the city hall in each city. After populating the address asset information, the tutorial requisition will be imported. Finally, the mapping will be verified. Scroll down the OpenNMS front page, viewing the empty map. Scroll back up and click on Admin Configuration. Click on Configure Geocoder Service. On the Geocoder configuration page, click the toggle next to Nominatum. The Nominatum Geocoder service is turned on. Click on the Nominatum tab at the top and enter an email address in the appropriate text box. Click on Save. This completes geocoder configuration in OpenNMS. Now to set the address asset values for each node in the tutorial requisition. Assets are kept in two places: the Assets table in the OpenNMS DB and the file etc/imports/tutorial.xml. Get the description of the Assets table. The columns of interest in this module are Address 1, City, State, and Zip. The Asset table is linked to the Node table through the Node ID column. In the pg.sql file, an update was created to set all the tutorial requisition node mapping asset columns to null. This is an update of last resort. It was used to clean things up. The second query selects all tutorial requisition node mapping asset values. This is an interesting query because, as will be demonstrated shortly, after provisioning the Address 1, City, State, and Zip assets, OpenNMS, through the geocoder, will fill in the latitude and longitude assets for each node. By the way, provisioning the latitude and longitude asset values without provisioning the aforementioned values is sufficient for mapping. Still, it is more likely that OpenNMS admins will be given street addresses as opposed to latitude and longitude points. Return to PSQL and run the query. No mapping asset data has been entered so far. In the directory /etc imports, the tutorial XML file does not contain any mapping asset values. Run provision.pl. The output provides command argument information. Scroll back up to the asset information. This is a script named add_assets. The provision.pl asset information has been copied to the top of this script. The command to add an asset is provision.pl asset add foreign source, foreign ID, asset name, asset value. The 4 lines give a more general impression of what will happen. For each node in the tutorial requisition, the address will be assigned a value, the city will be assigned a value, the state will be assigned a value, and the zip will be assigned a value. As already mentioned, mapping can be accomplished by assigning latitude and longitude values only to each node in the tutorial requisition. These are the commands that will be executed, organized by node. Note that each node's address and lat-long coordinates are provided. The lat-long provisioning steps are commented out so as not to be executed. Note the tutorial requisition import that is executed after the assets are provided. At the bottom of the file are the provision.pl asset remove lines organized by node. These are commented out and will not be executed. The file will be provided. Return to the previous console and execute the script using sh/temp/add_assets. Return to the db.psql and re-execute the SQL. The process has already filled in the latitude and longitude for each node. cat etc/imports/tutorial.xml. The address asset information is in this file. Return to the OpenNMS front page and scroll down to the map. Refresh the map. At first, because of the scale, the display indicates 4 nodes in the US. Scrolling in, one can see the spread of the nodes across the US. All the nodes are green, indicating that there are no problems. To demonstrate how alarms are displayed on the map, it is necessary to cause some problems. Shut down the network associated with denver.localdomain. This should generate a major alarm, node down. Modify the tutorial monitor service script on neworleans.localdomain to output anything but OK. This should generate a minor alarm, service lost. Remember, these are all virtual machines. From the denver.localdomain machine, click on the wire connected and then on wired settings. Turn off networking. Close the box. From the neworleans.localdomain machine, change to the /user/local/bin directory and edit tutorial.sh. Set the script's output to bad. This will indicate that the service is down. See the Service Assurance module for more information. Save and close the file. Return to the OpenNMS front page and refresh the map. Denver goes red and New Orleans goes orange. Hovering the cursor over Denver or New Orleans provides some more information. Refresh the front page. The major and minor alarms have made it to the donut and the pending problems box. In pending problems, click on New Orleans to be brought to the New Orleans front page. The tutorial monitor is down in the service availability box, and the top event is tutorial-monitor outage identified on interface 192.168.159.109. Return to the OpenNMS front page. In pending problems, click on Denver to be brought to the Denver front page. Because the sole network interface is down, all services are assumed down. There are 2 event types: SNMP data collection failed, which it should, and node denver.localdomain is down. Return to the OpenNMS front page. Fix things by restoring the network on denver.localdomain. From the Denver machine, click on the Wired Off and then click on Wired Settings. Turn on networking. Close the box. From the New Orleans machine, change to the /user/local/bin directory and edit tutorial.sh. Set the script's output to OK. This will indicate that the service is up. See the Service Assurance module for more information. Save and close the file. Return to the OpenNMS front page and refresh the map. All the mapping indicators are green again. This concludes the map module.